a speech at the end, and I'm not gonna lie, this is probably gonna be a lot harder than I thought it would be yesterday as I was writing this. So bear with me as I go through it. I really love my class, and I'll do my best to represent them now. And about 8 months ago, I was sitting not far from here in the driver's ed room, which is on the exact opposite side of the school. I was taking my SATs. I was making it through the reading section. And I got to a particular passage right as my head was about to hit the desk from exhaustion. I got to a particular passage that caught my eye. And I liked it so much that I continued through with the rest of the section and went back and reread it 3 more times before they called for everyone to stop. And I'm going to risk now the signature that I put at the end that I would never divulge any information in the test. I'm going to risk it now to tell you what was in that passage because I'm compelled to do so. You see, that passage, it stuck with me ever since I read it. It was about a man who commissioned a painting of a fish. He went to an artist and he gave him a sum of money and he wanted this painting of a fish. And so then the man went home and several days passed, and then several weeks, months, eventually years went by. Finally, the man, outraged, ran into the artist's studio and demanded his painting of a fish. And the artist, in silence, picked up a brush, dipped it in some paint, and began making long, smooth strokes on the canvas. And within minutes, he had painted the most elegant and beautiful picture of a fish you had ever seen. The man, he was confused. He yelled again. Why did it take all of these years for what took you now only minutes to complete? The artist, his lips sealed, stood from his chair and walked over to the corner of the room. There was a door. As he reached out and gently turned the handle, slowly opened the door, out fell hundreds upon hundreds of unfinished portraits of fish. Each one, maybe one a little too big, maybe one too long, maybe one the tail was crooked. And then the man understood. That is the essence of practice. August 18, 2010. Do you remember it? Do you remember what you ate for breakfast that morning before you walked through the doors freshman year? Do you remember what you were wearing? I remember trekking down the long hallway to World History 1. I remember sitting down, not knowing a single person, not even realizing that years later these would be my best friends. But today, it's not about me. It's not about my friends. It's certainly not about you. It's not really even about us. Not about who we are, at least. It's about what we've done. It's about what we've decided to collectively paint as a class. You see, today it's about legacy. Just as it says John Lewis Auditorium on this podium, or the Paul Hatcher Gymnasium, or the Doug Lane Band Room, or the Shirley Peterson Memorial Office. You see, whether you knew it or not, every choice and action you took since you walked through those doors freshman year has defined the class of 2014. One day our class, just like all these people that I've mentioned, will pass into a state of remembrance. The only thing that will solidify that remembrance is the actions we took. Whether it was something small, like inviting the new kid to sit with you at lunch, or whether it was leading your team to the state semis, whether it was helping your friend through a hard time, or participating in the making of crop circles on a practice field. Every action, small or big, it's defined us. See, we've seen some of the greatest times at Lehigh. In this year alone, we brought back dozens of conference championships. Dozens of titles have been attributed to our school through the leadership of our class. But not all the times were good. There were scary times too. There was lots of them. There was times of confusion and chaos. We even went through a literal earthquake at our school sophomore year. We wonder if we will remember the person we were sitting next to. And we hope they will still hold a place in our lives and in our hearts. We wonder whether or not those friends who stood by us will remain in the years to come. Distance may separate us. Time may come between us. But our lives will be forever touched by those people in this building and in our class who chose to reach out and lend us a helping hand. Because you see, what you spend years building up may be torn down overnight, but build anyways. People may really hurt you if you decide to help them, but help people anyways. If you give the world the best that you have, you'll be kicked in the teeth. But give the best you have to the world anyways. That's what Lehigh has taught us. And that's what we have hoped to teach Lehigh. In closing, I'd like to share a poem that I've written about our class. It's called In Pursuit of the Dream. And it goes like this. Moments come and go through the high and the low. We stand together now and forever. Struggles have plagued our times. We have heard all the lies, but no matter, for this is our time and now is our hour. Regardless of those who try to overpower, we make our own luck. We have each other's backs. The world looks at us and wonders. It asks how we ever managed to uncover this great secret of coming and going. But we do not know the answer, so we reply with a chant. We rise, we fall, we sink, we swim, we meet our fates together. And in parting we know we may not meet again if the day be too long. And we shall not see the dawn if the night lasts too long. So, the world asks us, where will we be found? And it asks us, where will we be? And we reply simply, in pursuit of the dream.